One of the many things I need to adapt to here is the constant change of weather. Sometimes it's still sunny when you wake up, but after brushing your teeth, it starts to rain. You never know what the weather will be like the next minute. I guess the frequent mood swing that I used to have is because of this. However, I've learned over time not to let the weather dictate my mood. After all, the sun will eventually come out. Kay and I have quite similar taste in food, but the same thing doesn't necessarily apply on every aspect in life. There are times when we fight fiercely on disagreements, but the fear of losing each other brings us to compromise. Needless to say, compromise from both sides is the key to a strong relationship. That's too much.
Okay. You explained it to me, and I wasn't sure if it should be mixed or if it's three separate things.
I love coffee, but the Asian DNA in me tells me I'm more of a tea drinker. Although Kay is an absolute coffeeholic, he'd also love to share a cup of tea with me sometimes. I don't know if you're also like this. I love the sound of the rain very much because it calms me. It helps me focus more on what I'm doing. It's such a pleasure when your mind is totally concentrated on one thing, as if all the chaos in the world have nothing to do with you anymore. I've been learning German on and off, but the progress is really slow. While Kay is working on the interior design of a new project.
Augsburg.
We find it most comfortable to eat at home because you can always make sure to eat healthy and safe. Not only that, it can also be very delicious. Eating correctly is very important to one's health. Although most people know it, very few can really stick to it. I, for example, am in a constant fight with the crave for a piece of toast bread, and sometimes it gets to a point where I'm grumpy and acting negative. Kay, on the other hand, is very determined. Once he sets a goal, he just goes for it without any excuse. I think we all need someone who can push us to do the right thing. After eating a simple but nice breakfast, we are on the way to buy some decoration material. Living in a small city is a bit inconvenient when it comes to shopping. Whenever you need to buy something not as common as daily products, you need to drive a long way to the nearest specialized shop. But it has its own perks too, and it's a good way to avoid a lot of the metropolitan troubles. Besides, we both really enjoy such rides, especially in such good weather. After shopping, we feel hungry, and we stop by a Burger King by accident.
That is very possible. But see the double steakhouse with all the...
Although it's not the healthiest food, it feels good to sometimes cheat a little bit. Kay ate 2.5 burgers, while I'm more craving for fries. Usually Kay is the one cooking, simply because he cooks better and faster. But tonight I decided to make beef stew for us, and I want to try the special herbs that I brought from China. It turned out to be a bit of a sad story, and I'll tell you later why. The cooking tonight made me understand something. When you really want to do something, and you give it 100% your heart, it doesn't always turn out to be what you expected. It's hurtful, and it leaves a scar in your heart. But what you need to do is get over the disappointment, learn from your mistakes, and try to do better next time. The reason why this is a sad story is because I put way too much of the herb in it. I miss the home taste so much that I was far too over. I also should have used the small bag that came along with the package, but instead I threw it away thinking it was garbage. As you can imagine, neither of us enjoyed the dinner, although Kay made it tastier with a bit of a retouching. He was also nice enough to say at least the color looks great. Well, it's not a perfect dinner for sure, but it was a perfect lesson.